Nice cloudy day, rainy day. Welcome back to Blackacre Ranch, guys. Buffalo are still alive, go figure. All right, so what's been going on? It's dark. We have, well, you can't tell from in here actually. Let's do this. Doo-doo-doo. I don't know if you can tell. If you listen a little bit, we got texture. So my son and my daughter, and probably my other daughter, and my wife, all started texturing. So that has all been done. It was really kind of a messy job. They did it during the days, pounded through some of this stuff, and got it done. So we are ready to paint. We're gonna be using our good friend, a paint sprayer. We are gonna go to town on this and hopefully knock it all out today. I will acknowledge the accomplishments of my daughter. Here, I'll see if I can get a light. Who decided to paint the bathroom? My youngest. She is only 12. She painted the bathroom. Now, she couldn't get the ceiling. She's short. Right, little bug?
Yeah.
But we'll fix that. But she painted that while Clark was a beast manhandling this. 14 years old. And he got all of this texturing done. So it's all been really, really good. You know, it's not perfect. We're going for a knockdown effect. I don't know if you can see any of that in the wall here. You can tell where he started his very first shot. You get this little white spot here. But anyway, he got better. He had to come back and after doing it a little light the first time, he came back in here and finished. It all looks good, guys. I mean, we're not building a Taj Mahal, but hey, a 14-year-old, he's 6'4" or 6'5", something like that, 230. He can pull his weight. So he did all this. I actually have like a frozen shoulder. I wasn't looking forward to this, but they just did this during the day, and by the time they, you know, it took like 3 days. And they would come home at like 5 o'clock and they're like, hey, we're done. So I haven't been here. This is the first time I've seen this at all. But yeah, so they've done a really good job. This is the master bedroom. Once Clark finished a room and got it all done, she would come back in and she would start knocking it down. And she just used a wide blade to do that. And some of this seems more aggressive than others, but you know, only a little time because you see a line. But I mean, gosh. For the most part, guys, it's looking good. Now, there's one spot in my office which may look a little scant, but that is on the ceiling, 10.5 feet up in the air, and it's about 1 foot in diameter. It's just kind of a little light there. Whatever, man. We're just gonna paint it and go. Now, we did try and take some chance beforehand to place out where these cabinet lines would go. I don't know if you can see these. It's not showing up on my end, but this is where the studs generally are. And so we thought we'd make it a little bit easier. Now, when I come back and paint, I'm not gonna paint the lower section, hoping to keep where these markers are so I know where to anchor into. And I may take out and not paint this section right here, about where the cabinets would go. So I'm gonna see how this goes, but that's an idea. Clark is a little mini-me. All of us in here painting are going to be wearing some clothing that we just understand is not going to be used again, since paint is going to be everywhere. So I've done the same myself. Charlotte hasn't.
I'm not the painter, you are.
Yeah, and then me. So you can see Clark looks a lot like me. He's a little smaller than I am.
He's a little taller than you are.
So, but yeah, we're gonna clean out this stuff. He's gonna get rid of this thing. It worked a lot. It was on all the time, texturing. What we're using for paint is just a drywall primer. I'm gonna get it out here into the light so you can kind of see it. is just a Kills PVA. I don't know what it stands for, but that's what it is. It's cheaper than the actual paint. So this is just gonna seal it. It's just gonna, I don't know if I wanna say seal it, but it's gonna absorb in. Better to have that and cheaper than it is to do multiple coats of color. So we're gonna spray that over. Now, there are different tricks you can do. People say, I've noticed that some people actually put the primer on before the texture. And I guess I just don't kind of get that. I mean, it just doesn't make sense in my head. Others will mix primer in with the mud that they use the texture. You know, I didn't bother. So we just use water. So now we're just gonna go spray it, and then we will move in all in a primered condition. So we're not gonna color paint any of this until after we're already moved in, cabinets are up and everything else. Because we just wanna get in, that's pretty much why. All right, time to get to this painting part. So we've gotten everything, I think, sanded down for the most part. We kind of cleaned out some of these areas. And now we're onto the primer. And we're using this Magnum X7 airless sprayer. Just purchased it at Home Depot, whatever. We did this with the well house. We did it with the exterior, a primer on the garage. We've used it a couple times already. But if we rollered this, it would be cleaner. And in essence, it'd probably put on a thicker layer. It'd just take longer, cutting in the corners and everything. I just don't have to deal with that. You know, we're trying to move in within 2 weeks, actually next Saturday, hopefully. So we're gonna spray all of this, and we just need to get this thing set up, and it's always a trick to remember how to do that. So we're just gonna prime it, and then I think it should be ready to go, I think. All right, so we started getting everything on the wall here. We primed the pump, and we're just going at it, and it's actually fairly simple. I mean, it's just, right? Here, I'll let you see some of it, right? So it just goes on. Now, I'm not an expert painter, I'm not an expert anything. Well, anyway. So I'm not an expert at it, but we'll put it on until it looks like it's on, and we'll not put it on when it looks like it's already been on. So if that's a good rule. We've got the windows taped. I'm actually gonna start here in the back corner. I'm assuming this is gonna start having a lot of dust and everything, spray and everything. There isn't a lot of dust on the walls at all. So we're just gonna go to town on this. Oh, people are gonna probably ask about PPE, personal protection equipment or something like that. When I can't breathe anymore, I'll kind of crack some windows. But that's part of the reason we're doing it in here. If I get this room and the next room done, we can take this out, open the windows, and we're gonna then take off the door covers for the front and back door to get some airflow going in here. A mask, I don't know, if it starts bothering me, I'll do it. Goggles. My dad said I should wear goggles, and I thought, well, that's what eyelids are for. Does that make me blink? So we're just gonna go to town. I'm wearing white. I can throw this away. My pants are the junky pants.
You're sacrificing your Michigan hat.
Yeah, just it's the only thing that wasn't all netted. And so I'm hoping that I only get a little bit of gray look back here.
But you're turning it backwards.
Oh yeah, I could. But I don't know, so far so good.
There you go. There. Now you're protected.
Yeah, otherwise I hope this goes quick. So we'll see how well this does. Can you do that light over here? Are we gonna get some runs? Yeah, we probably are. So now might be a time you kind of start to feel a little bit. So I'm gonna get a mask. Ooh, tuck it in. Just to make sure. I've got half the room done.
I know. It's been like not even 10 minutes.
Nope.
It's doing good.
You kind of wonder if there's certain spots you're like, do I have to go over that again?
I think we just need to let it dry and then get a feel for it once it's dry. I know, it's like swipe, 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 but it's like...
Swipe or no swiping?
I know, is it? Is it not? I don't know until it dries.
Done here. Now let's go over to the girls' room.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, it is.
All right, one door is open. Gotta go get that other door. Go get a pile of screws from the longer screws, the one closest to the door. Ooh, the air.
All right, guys, so we're in the laundry room here. I've been making some good progress out there, but I just want to show Charlotte's been kind of getting everything set up in here for shelves. This is going to be like a little pantry inside this laundry room, and she's leaving a tall section down here for 5-gallon buckets and other things. The goal is also leave some space here from the shelves, so that way we can put like, what are they called? Brooms, vacuum, other things like that here. Yeah, so this is just gonna be a pantry. I guess there's nothing to it, but before we painted over all these lines where we put the stud marks, we wanted to get this up and going. So when I'm coming in here, I'm gonna be just spraying right over the top of this, primering, and no big deal. But we're gonna put one more row up here, and I think that'll leave us about maybe an 18-inch at the top, for big bags of chips or something, right, bud?
Totally. Toilet paper, paper towels.
Oh yeah, the necessities.
Big stuff.
And then I can get on into here. Let me go show you what else I've been doing. Clark's room, it's now of course dark, but it's drying. And then I got all the way out here, so this bonus area is done. Up top, right up there is also done. And then I got the girls' bedroom with their closet and their bathroom. Ugh. Their closet here and the bathroom down here. I don't know if you can see any of this actually, but we've now been opening windows here, and those windows are helping hopefully with a cross breeze that's coming in through the front and back door opposite each other. So you can't feel it, but I can feel it. Whew. So it's a little bit of a wet day, but yeah, we're making some progress on it, and I think we're using more paint than they say. I think they glorify how much paint will spread, but I'm also a rookie painter, so I guess it's also on me. I went to Home Depot and picked up 20 gallons of this primer stuff. I wanted 30. They didn't have 30, and they said, oh, it'll go about 400 square feet per gallon, and I'm like, So I estimated at 1,500 square feet total, 300 per gallon, and I was just gonna make it. So I'm thinking we're not gonna make it. So we got 2 5-gallon buckets left, and about half the house has been done. We'll see. Next up here is this room, the master. And then we go to the bathroom. All right, so let's get spraying again, guys. I will say that Clark's job is very handy and useful. Clark is pre-mixing or shaking all of these things, and he fills up my 5-gallon bucket as it gets low. So it's getting kind of low. He's gonna fill it up now. Yep, there you go. All right, so he's gonna be filling this up as I keep painting, which I'll be honest is really useful actually. I would have thought to just take it out and put it in another 5-gallon bucket under, but my dad's like, hey, no, don't do that. So he told me just fill it up. And I'm like, that makes perfect sense. So you don't lose your prime. How long do you see since we started, dog?
An hour.
Maybe an hour? So this should totally be able to get done all today. This outside out in the kitchen out here, that should fly through fairly fast. So we're gonna get cranking on it. See you when we get done. All right, we just finished up. We're out here in the office and it's all done. Clark took down the plastic. But anyway, this is done. This is a little bit misty or whatever you want to call it because we just got done. Okay, so all the rest of this is good. We actually ran out at one point and we had to go get some other stuff. And I'm sure there's a difference in some of the stuff. We ended up at Ace was close. We got some CK Contractor Pro, whatever. This was a latex drywall. This one didn't say it was latex, but they say they're both water-based or water dealable. So while I was away, a bunch of kids were doing all the concrete scraping and trying to get some stuff cleaned up around the place. So this isn't fully dried yet. There are some spots that just aren't dry. And I'm not expecting this to be a perfect coat. This is to get it over the top and try and get some of that absorbed in. I think all in all, it went pretty well. This allows us now to get going on the rest of the stuff. I'll show you Clark's room because that has the best chance of being dried. But it's so dark. All right, so it's so dark in here you probably can't tell. It looks like the rest of this stuff. All right, so the rest of the things that we need to do are install 2 water heaters, which are sitting right here. We got 3 toilets to do, and we have those 2 water filtration things to do and put all up. And I didn't want to put these up until I had all the texturing and at least a primer coat on, because that's going to go on the opposite side of this wall here. Ooh, it is kind of dry. And one of the water heaters is also going over there, and then I didn't want to put the toilet with the tank on it, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if we're going to get paint colors chosen for bathrooms before we put the toilet and tank in. I don't know, probably not. So that means later on we'll be pulling toilets and everything else like that. But this will allow us to start getting cabinets. They're on order. They're supposed to be here, but you know, who knows. But yeah, good progress today. Oop, I'm in her pile. All right, so that's what we've done. All the texturing. Clark helped out with some. Bug even tried out some of this tape or painting. I'm gonna sit down. I will say, I had to sit down after a while and like really blink a lot, because when you're underneath, it just falls on you. And as my dad said, it's gonna get in your eye. But the other thing was the mask. After a while, I just took it off when I got out to this big room here, and everything went well, so. Okay, I will say before we get too far gone, if you can see it, I did not paint certain parts where I knew that there's gonna be cabinets, like up top and down low. Base cabinets are all gonna be here, stove, and I left a little bit of spot where I knew that the upper cabinets would be. And if I'm incorrect in that, I know I'm gonna have about a foot top, but if I'm incorrect in that, I can always touch it up with paint later on. So we try to save a little bit there, but otherwise it looks really good. Now, I will say the next steps, you know, I have all that plumbing and stuff to probably do, but while we're here and we got some light on both sides, in and out, we're gonna try and put on maybe some of these exterior doors. We have that door, and we have the front door here. I'm gonna use Clark's help with that. I'm gonna try and get some of this on video, but the camera is about dead, so we're gonna see how that goes. And if we can get it all done, great. But man, things are moving along good. On second thought, we're gonna do that. The battery's at 2%, so I'm gonna cut it off here. We'll try and put some pictures or something at the very end so you guys can see what it looks like with the doors. But anyway, we'll catch you next time. Bye.